I remember the morning the Lord sent me to Bethel. I was a man of God from Judah, and the word of the Lord came to me with a very specific command. My assignment was dangerous, but the instructions were clear. The Lord said to me, "Go to Bethel and speak against the altar that King Jeroboam has built. But listen carefully. Do not eat bread there. Do not drink water there. And do not return by the same road you came." 3 instructions. Simple, yet serious. So I began the long journey north to Bethel. When I arrived, the place was filled with people. At the center stood the altar, and before it was Jeroboam himself. He was burning incense like a priest, even though the Lord had never appointed him for that. I felt the weight of the moment. Speaking against a king could cost me my life, but the word of the Lord burned inside me. So I cried out loudly toward the altar, "Altar, altar, this is what the Lord says. A child named Josiah will be born to the house of David, and he will sacrifice on you the priests of the high places who burn incense here. Human bones will be burned on you." The crowd fell silent. Then I gave them a sign. "This altar will split apart today, and the ashes on it will pour out." The king's face twisted with anger. He pointed at me and shouted, "Seize him." But before the soldiers could move, something terrifying happened. The king's arm, the very arm he stretched toward me, suddenly shriveled. It became stiff and powerless. He could not pull it back. At that same moment, the altar cracked open with a loud sound. Ashes spilled everywhere, exactly as the Lord had said. Fear spread through the crowd. Now the king looked at me very differently. His voice was no longer angry. It was desperate. "Please," he said, "pray to the Lord your God so that my hand may be restored." I prayed, and right before everyone's eyes, the king's hand was healed. Jeroboam looked relieved. Then he smiled and said something tempting. "Come home with me," he said. "Refresh yourself. I will reward you." But I remembered the Lord's command. So I said to him, "Even if you gave me half your house, I would not go with you. I cannot eat bread or drink water here, because the Lord commanded me not to." And with that, I left Bethel by another road. My mission was complete, or so I thought. Back in Bethel lived an old prophet. His sons had been at the altar that day, and they ran home to tell him everything I had done. The old prophet asked them, "Which way did he go?" They showed him the road, and he quickly saddled his donkey and rode after me. He found me sitting under a tree, resting from the long journey. He asked, "Are you the man of God who came from Judah?" "Yes," I answered. He said kindly, "Come home with me and eat bread." But I shook my head. "I cannot return with you," I said. "The Lord told me not to eat bread or drink water there and not to return the way. I came." The old prophet looked at me and said something. That changed everything. "I am a prophet too," he said. "An angel spoke to me by the word of the Lord, and told me to bring you back to my house so you can eat and drink." I hesitated. Another prophet, claiming a message from an angel. I believed him. So I went back with him. We sat at his table. Bread was placed before me, and water was poured. But in the middle of the meal, something happened. The word of the Lord suddenly came, not to me, but to the old prophet. His face changed, and he cried out loudly, "This is what the Lord says. Because you disobeyed the word of the Lord and did not keep the command He gave you, but came back and ate bread and drank water in this place, your body will not be buried in the tomb of your ancestors." My heart sank. I had been deceived, but I had still disobeyed. When the meal ended, the old prophet saddled a donkey for me. I started the journey back home, but along the road, a lion came out of nowhere and attacked me. And that was the end of my journey. Strangely, the lion did not eat my body. It simply stood beside it. My donkey stood nearby as well. When the old prophet heard what had happened, he came and found my body lying on the road with the lion and donkey standing there. He lifted my body and carried me back to Bethel. He buried me in his own tomb and mourned over me, saying, "Alas, my brother." And my story became a warning remembered for generations. Because sometimes the most dangerous deception does not come from enemies. It comes from someone who sounds like a prophet. And the lesson is simple. When God gives you a clear instruction, never replace it with another voice. even if that voice sounds spiritual. Don't forget to let us know in the comment section which Bible character you will love to hear from next.